Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. The coalition government of Prime Minister Andrej Plenković has collapsed after yesterday dismissing 3 of his cabinet ministers, all from the HDZ's junior coalition partner Most. The last remaining Most cabinet member, Deputy Prime Minister and Administration Minister Ivan Kovačić, was also dismissed today, as were all 10 Most state secretaries. Plenković dismissed the ministers after they refused to support Finance Minister Zdravko Marić in light of a vote of no confidence in him. Most leader and Parliament Speaker Božo Petrov announced today that Most is no longer a part of the coalition government. Petrov accused Prime Minister Plenković of acting in contravention to the Constitution and the values of a parliamentary democracy. Meanwhile, the HDZ has collected 79 signatures in support of removing Božo Petrov as Parliament Speaker and has put a request to do so into parliamentary procedure. They still, however, do not have enough signatures to name HDZ Deputy Parliament Speaker Gordan Jandroković as his successor. Božo Petrov had this to say about the HDZ's motion to remove him from office.
The HDZ can expect whatever it wants. I will not allow games. We will stick to the rules and chronological order. Therefore, if the first item was a vote of no confidence in Minister Marić, then that will be the first order of business in Parliament. Immediately after that, if a motion for my removal is initiated, I will gladly comply. And that item will be addressed the very next day.
The Parliament Speaker announced today that a motion for a vote of no confidence in Finance Minister Zdravko Marić, which was submitted by the SDP, will be discussed next Wednesday. The crisis in government was the main issue in Parliament today. Most MP Nikola Grmoja said Most had informed the Prime Minister of its intention to not support Finance Minister Zdravko Marić days earlier. Most accuses the Finance Minister of not doing his job.
In the 18 months that he's been minister, there was no tax revision of the Agrokor concern. Along with this, the tax authority had refused to make available information regarding the size of Agrokor's tax debt. And the Prime Minister decided to protect the boss. He decided to protect the Finance Minister. He decided to dismiss 3 ministers who were doing their jobs. And he talks about being collegial.
2 opposition party leaders today criticized Most for questioning the authority of the Prime Minister to dismiss ministers from his cabinet.
It is entirely clear that if a minister loses the backing of the Prime Minister, they have to leave the cabinet. If the coalition stops functioning, then the Parliament Speaker should step aside himself, and the Prime Minister must prove that he has a new parliamentary majority as soon as possible. In democratic systems, this is called a coup. When someone dismisses you and you refuse to step down, that is called a coup. Most has the Interior and Justice Ministries. Luckily, they don't have the Defense Ministry.
Prime Minister Plenković is currently in Brussels, where he will attend an EU summit this weekend. He is also expected to discuss the issue of congested border crossings with the presidents of the European Council and European Commission, Donald Tusk and Jean-Claude Juncker. The issue arose at Croatia's border crossings with Slovenia after an EU directive to step up controls at Schengen's external borders. Violence and unrest continues in Macedonia. Protesters stormed the parliament building last night, leaving at least 4 MPs injured. Macedonia has been in a political deadlock after the December election failed to produce a clear winner between the Conservatives and Socialists. EU Foreign Affairs and Security Policy Commissioner Federica Mogherini had this to say about the situation.
We consider violence always unacceptable, even more so when it happens in the House of Democracy, Parliament. And we believe that all in Skopje should follow the constitutional principles.
British counter-terrorism police say they have thwarted an active terror plot following raids in London and Kent, in which 1 woman is shot and another 6 people arrested. The woman is reported to be in serious but stable condition. Back at home, a day of mourning was declared in Dubrovnik today for the victims of Tuesday's tragic boating accident. The fatal accident happened when a Coast Guard speedboat struck a dinghy with 9 people on board. 4 people are confirmed dead. 2 people survived the incident, while search and rescue personnel are still looking for the remaining 3. Taking a quick look at sports, Ivo Karlovic fell short of the semi-finals at the ATP tennis tournament underway in Budapest after losing to Britain's Aljaž Bedene 6-4, 6-3 today. In the quarterfinals of the domestic basketball league, Cibona Zagreb beat Zadar 95-81 last night to take a 1-game lead in their best-of-3 series. In the other quarterfinal, Šibenik beat Zagreb 84-78. Game 2 of both series will be played on Sunday. And now the forecast for tomorrow. Predominantly overcast with more sun expected on the northern and central Adriatic. There could be some rain with heavier downpours and thunderstorms in southern Dalmatia. There will be a moderate to strong northeasterly on the coast, reaching gale-force gusts at the foot of the Velebit mountain. Southern Dalmatia will see a southeasterly shifting to a northwesterly. Morning lows of 4 to 9 degrees Celsius inland, colder in mountainous regions, and 8 to 13 degrees on the coast will give way to highs of 10 to 15 degrees in the interior, 16 to 19 on the Adriatic. The 3-day forecast for the interior calls for predominantly dry weather on Sunday and Monday, with intermittent showers on Tuesday. The coast will see predominantly sunny skies this weekend with cloud cover and a chance of some rain moving in at the beginning of the week. And that wraps up the news. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night.